Hi, everyone. Joe Appello here with George Connor to my left. Welcome to All Sports Talk Show with Joe and George. We are heading toward the NFL playoffs. How exciting is that?
We're halfway through the playoffs,
well,
right?
the semifinals, I should say,
Yeah,
Be more specific here, yeah.
Big conference championship weekend coming up.
Boy, I tell you, let's review last weekend. The Colts were very disappointing to me.
Yeah, you were kind of high on the Colts.
Man, I thought they were going to really do damage. They were a no-show, KC.
Yeah.
No-show. They didn't want to be there. Of course, it was terrible weather and all that, but both teams have to play in it. I mean, I knew it was going to be.
And you could bring out the whole dome team versus KC.
Yep.
KC's always been when KC's a decent team, it's a tough place to go to.
Yeah.
As a road team, but Luck's a dome quarterback. He could throw him in with some of the other guys.
Technically, Darius Leonard was their all-pro linebacker. He was out of position about 5-6 times I saw where they went right where he was supposed to be, and he was misreading his reads.
Yeah.
And they got behind, and I think what killed them is Benintendi missed that field goal right before the half.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think that
any kind of momentum.
It just like they went right. They did nothing like all half. I think they had literally no first downs until that last drive.
Yeah.
And they had 4 or 5 first downs there, and they're right down the field, bing, 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 with the hurry-up offense. Get down there, and Benintendi misses the chip shot field goal, and it was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I think that was huge for them.
Yeah, because the game wasn't over
No.
like the other AFC game that we'll talk about in a couple minutes. But so you have a chance to get some momentum going into the locker room.
Get some points. You move the ball a little bit, feeling pretty good.
Give your coaches a chance to change up the scheme at the halftime and maybe have a chance.
And he just clunks that 23 as a 23-yarder, I think, which is a little more than an extra point. I mean, how the heck do you do that?
Yeah.
And he's one of the best. So then he missed extra point too, I think, later on. So that was a turning point. Andrew Luck looked awful.
Yep. They looked so good coming in. They were 1-3 early in the season. Won 10, 11 games in a row.
They were like a step behind. They didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And KC, they made KC's defense look like the '85 Bears, for crying out loud. I was just like, they're not that good, and they made them look so good, and because they put pressure on Luck. And how many times? I think maybe 3, 4, 5 times he got his passes tipped at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Which obviously incomplete passes, which they had no chance to be completed. Nothing could happen on that.
Yeah. Yep.
So that killed them too.
And so the quarterback takes all the glory, takes all the blame.
Yeah.
See a lot of tip passes. You would have to assume that there's supposed to be channels in there, lanes where the offensive line maybe didn't do their job.
And then Mahomes is special. There's no question about it. I think he's the MVP of the league. He's got that it factor. He makes the right reads. He can throw the ball from all different arm angles. One time he threw it almost sidearm to Kelsey down the middle.
Yeah.
And he's just amazing. He's not fazed by the big moment yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, and they sure as heck knew that he was that good when they got rid of Alex Smith.
Yes.
Not going to get rid of
Which
Smith.
at the time you look at it, you're like, wow, Alex Smith is proven that he's decent, right? Decent. Maybe a hair above decent.
Yeah, not the greatest.
You get rid of that guy for an unproven guy, but somebody did their job there.
I mean, that heights back to you watch the Giants have Loletta and they had Davis Webb, and the Jets had Hackenberg. These guys, they know they aren't any good. From watching them in practice. And you say, why don't they give them a chance? Why don't they play well? Because they're not any good. They can't play. If they don't show anything in practice, what do you think they're going to do in a game? All of a sudden, they're like, okay, it's a game. I'm good now. It doesn't work that way.
Which begs the question, we've asked this question before, how does Mark Sanchez have a job? But we've covered that.
Oh, boy, yeah.
We've covered that. So, that was...
clipboard holder.
I guess it wasn't an upset by any means, but I think a little bit of a surprise that it was.
They're just a lousy game.
The Colts
competitive. They weren't in it from the beginning. First 5 minutes, you're like, this is a blowout. This is just
Now the real blowout in the AFC.
Let's go to the Rams Cowboys. We'll do.
Oh, okay.
We'll do Saturday and do Sunday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll go. We got to order. Rams Cowboys. The Cowboys. What do you think?
Just two teams. One team being way better.
Here's my invitation to Jason Garrett when the going gets rough. That's how he goes.
Run the clock.
Calm down. Oh, guy kills me.
Yeah.
Guy kills me.
All right, a little bit of Tom Landry. Maybe he's channeling a little Tom Landry, being calm on the sidelines without the suit and the hat.
You do that like Tom Landry because Tom Landry's 89 years old.
Yeah, you know.
They ran the ball down the Cowboys' throat, the Rams did.
Yeah,
That was
did.
amazing.
It was 500 yards in offense. I think they got.
I think C.J. Anderson had 120, 115, and Gurley had 123 or vice versa. They had 250 yards rushing between the two of them.
Yeah, you're not going to win a game when that happens. No. Again, Rams, for a lot of the season, the Rams were the best team in the NFL. A lot of people were saying that. Then, the shine kind of came off them a little bit. It's a really good football team. And, Prescott, I don't think he's getting better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he's getting worse, but he's
almost
not,
like the Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins, the average.
Yeah, that mediocre, middle of the road kind of thing. Last year he showed signs of maybe becoming an actual franchise quarterback.
They shut down Ezekiel. That's what they had to do. I think he had like 36 yards. They put the clamp on him, and because he's such a great back.
Yeah.
And defensively, it looked like their linebackers were kind of beat out a few different plays there.
Yeah.
And they weren't filling the gaps, and the holes were there.
And when you got a team running the ball for 200 and something yards, that's a lot of time on the field. That's you're asking a lot of your defensive line, mostly your linebackers. I say equally.
It was only 28-20. It wasn't like it was 35-10.
But you can wear down a team like that. We don't see it much anymore in the NFL like you used to.
C.J. Anderson, who was cut like by 3 different teams the last year and a half.
Yeah,
and he looked chubby, but he was quick and fast and run through that hole like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
But
so I think it did come down to a little bit of just wear. Time of possession.
Yeah.
And then just fatigue.
Yeah. And Goff, made enough throws to get through. And, so, Cowboys on the road are a little different than they are at home, like everybody else is. But But they were, I don't know.
Just outplayed.
Yeah.
That was just a case of clearly the better team going in.
I guess you kind of lose sight of how important that bye is too. You get a week off, you heal the wounds.
Yeah, a couple of players that are nicked up. Yeah,
get prepped up pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was I kind of expected that. I thought they would shut Ezekiel out and make Prescott win it, and that's what happened. But I don't know. Rams, they're kind of hard to read. I mean,
you're still not a believer. I get the sense.
I'm not.
No?
Goff is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll see.
You don't see him as the this year's Nick Folk.
I think they beat the Saints. I'll go in that later though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Stay tuned.
Little teaser.
Stay tuned.
All right, then we move into Sunday, and we had the first game with the Chargers and Pats. And the Pats annihilated.
It was over early. I didn't even get home. I was listening on the radio. By the time I got home, it was over.
I thought the Chargers were the Colts in uniform there. It was just same thing. They didn't want to be there. They were totally overmatched, totally outcoached, totally not ready. They played that 7 defensive back defense, what they thought was a genius against the Ravens, with a quarterback they couldn't throw. But Brady can throw, so So and it showed, and you can see what the Pats did. They threw to James White, had 15 catches, which was a playoff record, tied for a record, and he had no yards rushing.
Yeah.
And Sonny Michel had 130 or something. So So they had one back running the ball, one back catching it, and Edelman is just a freaking animal. That guy.
So late second half, just before I think Michel ended up rushing for a touchdown. Almost again, I hadn't gotten home yet, and the game's over. But on the radio, Brady had thrown the ball 20 times, at early, not even at halftime. 15 of those passes went to either Gronkowski or Edelman.
Yeah.
You kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they'd already put up 21, 20, 28 points.
Well, the biggest turning point of the game, from my point of view, was when Desmond King fumbled the punt. He fumbled the punt about the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And
you give him a short field, forget it.
Yeah, I mean, the Pats recovered it just in bounds, and it reviewed. At first it was they kept the ball to the Chargers, and then reviewed and they gave it back to the Patriots. So then they scored a touchdown after that. So that was a nail in a coffin.
I thought the turning point in the game was the coin toss.
You lose that too, right? So anyway, Philip Rivers, as much as I kind of admire him, he's a crybaby.
You
All
know,
he did was cry, but just get in there, he's yelling at his players and the refs and just
yeah. You know, I have a couple good friends that have been Charger fans for years and years and years, San Diego Charger fans, and you know, I talked to a couple of them during the game on Sunday, and it's sad, but they're like, yeah, that's who we are.
2 years,
You know, we have talent, we can get to a certain stage, and then it's been a long time since they
just weren't prepared. Either they weren't prepared or the Pats were so prepared that it was not even close.
Just remember, Mark Sanchez went to San Diego and beat him.
Well, you're on him, aren't you, Sanchez?
That was when he was good, though. That's when we liked him.
Yeah, he even started in college.
You know, again, you know, they lost a home division championship game.
Now you figure the game was 41-28. It wasn't even nearly that close. They got a garbage.
41-22.
Got a garbage touchdown at the end to make it 28.
Yeah, if you draw one side and say in the second half the Patriots got killed, but it was over by then. So now let me ask you: if you do you think that the Patriots having a completely non-competitive game is a huge advantage of them getting ready for Kansas City, or is it in a way negative?
I don't think it matters to them. I think they do what they do.
They do what they do.
They just prepare. They look at Belichick, you know, as we've said before, I think is the best coach in football. And
sure.
It
pains me to say it, but you're right.
He looks at certain things and certain patterns and certain ways to attack a team and certain ways to defense a team and puts a solid game plan in based on all his knowledge, experience, and they carry it out. I mean, individually, the winning is not that great, individually wise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Player for player, but collectively.
Yeah,
they follow what they're supposed to do and do it right. Now, Gronkowski wasn't much of a factor as catcher. I think he had 4 or 5 catches, but see some of the blocks he laid on.
Some of the blocks, and then then he turns into a running back.
He just
that surprised me a little bit. You know, say if in their game plan during the week in between, they say, okay, we're gonna put into the plan a couple plays where Gronkowski's in the backfield, as you know, mix it up type of thing or whatever else. The game's over, you know, before the second quarter starts. Yeah. It seemed odd that they used that part of the playbook instead of save it. Yeah, he was lining up as a
H-back or something.
Yeah. Which just seemed a little strange. If you're going to put that little wrinkle into your game plan, maybe you save it until.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to see how it worked.
You go to Kansas City and maybe need a surprise or something like that.
The thing is about the Chargers that they've been playing pretty solid all year, and they just kind of fell apart and just kind of like in the beginning, the Pats just took it right to them down the field.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the air's gone.
What was that first touchdown drive? Was like 8-9 plays.
7.5 minutes. I think.
They I don't know if they had a third down situation. They just went right down the field.
I think it was over 7 minutes that they had the ball.
And then the Chargers like what? And if you notice, the Pats won the coin toss, and what did they do? Took the ball, and everyone always defers, but they were like, you know what? That's how smart they are. Take the ball, we shove it down their throat. Yep. Show them who we are, and that was ball game really.
And
in my
then
opinion.
I think the Chargers did get a first down in their first possession, but on second offensive play of the game, Rivers, the guy's. He's open.
The guy fell down.
45-yard catch.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Got a first down, but I mean, at some point, I think they had. It was some absurd number where the Chargers they made 4 first downs in the game, and the Patriots were like close to 20. It was just
it was total domination. It was like 5 minutes possession to like 13 or 18 or something. Yeah. That was a big. I think that, and they put absolutely no pressure on Brady. Absolutely not at all. No. Obviously, he gets rid of the ball quick and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is that you can't say, okay, we're going to sit down and play defense and hope Brady's not hot. He's always the most accurate quarterback there's ever been almost. Yeah. So you got to blitz a corner. You got to blitz a linebacker. You got to hit him once or twice.
I'm pretty sure he's gotten sacked more times this season than any other season. So I mean, you can get to him with the right scheme.
Pressure on him at all.
And that's to me that's the only chance. I'm not I don't have the Bill Belichick mind.
But I thought with Bosa and Melvin Ingram that they could put some pressure on Brady. That's why I actually thought the Chargers had a shot. I thought they would pressure him, but they couldn't get near him because he got rid of the ball so quick all the time. Yeah. And he threw the ball to the back, so the backfield there's no time.
Most of the plays that if it's a broken play or something like that, it's different. But Brady does not sit in the pocket for very long. It's quick slants. It's boom, boom, boom.
And it'll just throw it in the third row if someone's open.
Yeah, and that was going back to say that, just kind of a comparison of who Brady is.
Right.
When it was Patriots-Jets last game of the season. Now, granted, he got Darnold in there trying to make something happen or whatever else, but so many times just, taking a sack when he didn't have to, throwing the ball where, and I think some of that just comes with experience.
Yeah, well, definitely.
It also comes with the fact that if you're Tom Brady, if you're the Patriots, you have this offense that can always move the ball.
Yeah.
So throwing it out of bounds or something like that, just take a sack if you have to. But don't try to do too much to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But it's a nice luxury to have when you can convert 3rd and 15 more than probably anybody else in the league. So.
And then like I said before, Edelman, he just doesn't drop the ball.
No.
Get the ball anywhere near that guy, and he's tough as nails, and he doesn't take anything from anybody.
Yep.
And he's like that Wes Walker that they used to have. I mean, same thing.
Who's the better player, Walker or Edelman, in their prime?
I think I'd go Edelman at this point.
Pretty similar players, though, like you said.
Yeah, he's a little stronger, a little bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe Walker a little faster, but
Yeah.
It's a tough.
Giselle never
guy.
yelled at Edelman.
Oh boy! All right, second game, Eagles Saints.
The only, I shouldn't say, but the most competitive of the four.
Eagles jumped out to that 14-0 lead.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, here we go.
Yeah,
And,
in New Orleans, it was a bit of a surprise.
It falls through that interception, that long interception.
Yep.
They hold the ball a little bit longer, punch one in there, 21-0, it's over. But just enough to keep them going.
Yeah.
And to me, and I hear it right here, I think something's wrong with Drew Brees' arm. I don't think he didn't have a zip on the ball. Couldn't let it fly on a couple of deep balls were underthrown. And I think that's a big factor why they're, at one point, I think games maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they were averaging almost 30, 40 points a game. Now they're down about 20, 22 in the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
And they're just not airing it out. I don't think he's able to.
Okay.
But, now, of course, you're not going to say anything I can tell anybody that.
No.
But it looks to me, he doesn't have the zip on the ball that he used to have.
Yeah.
But then there's that Nick Foles, Carson Wentz debate. On and on and on. You hear that all the time. Oh, if he wins one more game and it's his team for next season, Jesus.
It's a tough situation that they're in. It's a luxurious situation that your quarterback can lead you deep into the playoffs the second year after taking you to the Super Bowl championship the year before.
I guarantee he's gone. He's gone.
Okay.
He's gone. You're not going to. Yeah, okay. He's got a 1-year deal for $20 million next year with the Eagles. The good thing about that is Wentz is still on his, I think, the 3rd or 4th year of his rookie contract where he's making like $800,000.
Right.
So they don't have to pay him yet. Next year they have to pay him. So when they pay him next year, they can't keep 2 of those guys for $20 million.
Yeah.
So I think Foles is gone. I think he goes somewhere. Jacksonville. A million teams need a quarterback.
Plenty of teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah, so I think he goes where the money is. He's got $2 million buyout, though. I guess he just buys out the remaining part of the contract, and then he'll get a 4-year deal for, who knows?
Yeah, the other
80, 90 million.
Wherever he goes takes care of the buyout. That's no big deal.
I mean, he's proven himself. I mean, it's all good to be teammate and loyal and let's go Eagles.
Yeah.
Now the Eagles, on the other hand, would they be smart to try to tie him up for a couple of years? Thinking that Wentz is injury prone. It's proven so
Clearly,
far.
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't completed a season yet. So as good as he is and as potentially great as he could be, do you roll with him? Now that's what I would think. And Foles is only 30 years old. He just turned 30. So
Yeah.
It seems like he's older than that.
4 or 5 more years of.
Yeah. It seems like he's been around a long time, doesn't it? Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, that makes him 8, 9 years in the league.
Yeah. And but he gets rid of the ball quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got one of the quickest releases around. So I mean, that's too bad at the end of the game when Jeffries dropped that pass with a potential winning drive they had.
Yep.
Just the breaks of the game and.
Yeah. What about going back to the Cowboys game for a second there? No onside kick at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking?
You got to try it.
I mean, the odds are horrible, and that's
9%.
there's starting to be some discussion.
Yeah.
The whole discussion of getting rid of the kickoff. Everything.
Yeah.
Well, if you get rid of the kickoff, you got to have some substitute for the onside kick. Is there anything they can do to the onside kick to give it, a 5% chance of recovery?
The way the Rams are running the ball, there's no way they're not going
to stop them. And once they get one first down, the game's over. So
You got
Do you kick it off? I mean, why do you kick it off there?
Yeah,
Kick it or something. Try. You got to try something.
Yeah.
It was a very Bulls type move.
Yeah, it's always a tough. Outside kick. I mean, I think the percentage is 8 or 9% maybe is of the times recovered.
If that.
So
yeah.
1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. But that's always. If you got to rely on the outside kick, you're in trouble. So.
Yeah.
But
I mean, at that point, you got to give it a shot. I think instead of just kicking off, thinking, okay, now we're going to stop them.
For the Saints, Michael Thomas is tremendous. So the wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that guy catches everything.
And as good as Bledsoe is, he's never had a lack of targets down there.
Breeze, yeah.
Or Breeze, rather.
Yeah. I think he's got Kamara and Mark Ingram,
But I mean, you can go back 5 years ago, and he had 4 great quarterbacks. And in 1 week, one guy is catching 16 passes for 200 yards, and you don't even hear from the guy who did that the week before.
Yeah.
And they just move it around.
I think the big advantage that the Saints have is the home field. I mean, that and Kansas City are probably 2 of the better home fields in the league and NFL as far as a big advantage. And Seattle probably would be the other one. But I think the Rams go in there, and I think the Rams handle them because of Breeze's inability to throw the ball deep.
Okay.
I think, and the ability of Rams to run the ball. I think they'll eat the clock up a little bit.
Take the crowd out of it a little bit.
Yeah, they'll shove it down the Saints' throat. They get a lead, they can just pound it, and have Goff make his throws here and there. And the Saints don't seem to be able to score a heck of a lot of points like they were at one point. At one point in the year, a lot of people thought they were by far the best team in football, as were the Rams at one point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all depends, who gets hot. Now, I'd have to say Kansas City's the hottest team right now in the NFL. The way they're playing, I mean, they look unstoppable. With Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill is amazing too. He's the only guy that catches everything. But so then you got the Saints against the Rams. Rams go to New Orleans, and you got the Pats going to KC. Now the KC Pat game is supposed to be a blizzard out.
Yeah, the weather's going to be
Arctic, 10 degrees, 5 degrees.
Yep.
Obviously, it was an advantage to the KC. Well, both teams are playing it, so I don't know how you say an advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, it is. New England's not exactly a dome team or a Southern team either.
Maybe.
Or was it? I think it was one of the. Might have been Patrick or Tom Brady's first real cold weather playoff game, and he walked out in the field, no sleeves, nothing, just showing how tough he was. And I was like, whoa, this guy's serious. I think.
Yeah, like you're right though.
They're both passing teams.
It's a good point. They're a cold weather team too. I mean, like they've never seen snow before. They play it all the time, and both teams are there. And I think the worst thing about playing those conditions is the wind, not so much the cold. I mean, cold you can handle, but the wind, the wind's swirling and stuff like that. You can't, where it's coming from. You throw the ball deep, it's going to come back on you or what.
Yeah.
But and the Chargers defense, the Chiefs defense at home, much better than it is on the road. So that's a big advantage too.
And New England, every year I try to, but you can't count out New England. That being said, they were worse on the road this year than they can remember.
Usually, yeah.
And they lost in Detroit. They lost in
this is their first
Tennessee.
First AFC Championship game away from home, pretty much. A long time. So they're used to having home advantage all the time.
Yeah.
But
they lost to some pretty bad teams on the road. Now. Different story is Belichick's team in the AFC Championship.
They're focused now. They're not going to.
Pretty tough to go against them. I don't know.
It's always hard to get a bet against them.
Yeah.
So now a couple of new coaches that get hired. Your Jets got Adam Gase with the eyeballs and the twitches.
So Adam Gase, who coached 50 or so games for the Dolphins,
3 years
to great mediocrity.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy basically came out and said, "This is the job I want.
Yeah.
I want to coach the Jets.
Yep.
If I don't coach the Jets, I'm taking the year off."
Yep.
I don't know what Adam Gase says in the interview that Mike McCarthy didn't say in the interview or what, or maybe just said, "I'll take it for millions less than you're going to pay him."
Yeah.
But he's the quarterback.
I think it's simple as the Jets part. I think the Jets wanted Gase, who's a quarterback whisperer, to work with Sam Darnold. I think it's simple as that.
But you had, McCarthy was there in the beginning, all through Aaron Rodgers' career as well.
I think they think that Gase is more of a perfectionist and more of a detail guy with their quarterback because they've got their whole future involved in Sam Darnold. I mean, that's their guy for the next 10 years. So I think that predicated everything. And I think Darnold had a conversation with Gase on the phone. And he was all excited and thought it'd be great to work with him. So I think that was he got his endorsement. So I think that was as opposed to McCarthy. Who knows what he said to McCarthy or vice versa? Maybe he wasn't excited to work with McCarthy, and he said, "I'll take Gase." And maybe so. Okay,
and who knows? I mean, you know, it's a small circus, so maybe Darnold and Aaron Rodgers might have had conversations,
right?
And obviously there's no great friendship going on right there between McCarthy and Rodgers at the moment.
I think the Dolphins situation was tough for guys. I mean, first he was told to change the culture. He got rid of the culture. Jarvis Landry, Sue, and Jai, 3 guys were
not good locker room
head cases, not team guys, and got rid of them. And then they say the locker room was divided. Some guys loved him, some guys hated him. It was nowhere in between. And he was told to move him out, make some decisions, and he did that. And it still wasn't what they wanted. So who knows what the real story is down there. But it looked like the Jets wanted him from the beginning. To me.
So this is the first coach that the Jets have had with previous head coaching experience since Parcells.
Right.
So that's going back a ways, obviously. That goes back to 2000.
And then I think that the part 2 of this whole situation is they hired Greg Williams. Which is interesting. What do you think about that? Guys, tell me.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I like to think that all this is going to work out as a Jets fan. I don't know.
I think what they did, I think it's pretty simple to me. I thought they did is that they wanted a fiery guy, some swagger, with some attitude. That's Greg Williams to that defense. That's what they needed. Where Gage is kind of a little more of a laid-back guy, but he has that attitude too. But I think they wanted and I guess Williams had his choice of 4 different teams to go to as far as the DC. So he chose Jets, and maybe he's thinking, well, as soon as Gage gets fired, I'll be that coach. But I don't know. But he's the guy that had the bounty gate years ago with the Saints. And he got suspended for a year and this and that. But I guess he's well thought of as a.
And, another point too is Gase was cooking the meal and buying the groceries in Miami, right? He was choosing personnel and this and the other thing. In his, we'll call it bright-eyed or wide-eyed interview instead of bug-eyed interview, they asked him about that, and he said the conversation never came up, which is strange. So you're going into a completely different role.
Then you always have a situation where you have your general manager, if he didn't hire you, or he did hire you, either way, if he hires you, you're his boy or his guy. And if he didn't hire you, then does he like you? Is he behind you? Is he looking at his other guys that he wanted to get instead of you? I mean, it's always a tough.
I think in all sports, GMs and coaches travel in packs, right? They all have my guys, the people I trust, whatever it happens to be. So who knows? But has the general manager shown that he, you can't get rid of him? No, I mean, they've been awful since Rex's second year.
You see in the NFL though the plethora of coaches going here, going there. This DC is going here. This offensive coordinator goes here. This guy's going. And a lot of guys have no head coaching experience whatsoever. And running an NFL team is like being a CEO, and you got to have a good offensive coordinator, good defense coordinator, special teams, whatever. But they think now the Jets, from their point of view, think they have the head coach in Gase, offensive genius. They have Greg Williams, the defensive genius, and they have a tremendous special team guy that they retained because they had one of the better special teams in the league this year. So
for what it's worth, they've got the 3
traditionally
been pretty good in special teams.
They've got those 3 aspects covered. Now, other than that, they have a franchise quarterback. They have a good young coach. Places are there. So hopefully they can go ahead and make some headway.
Get an offensive line, get some edge rushers, and they're going to have to give Darnold some targets.
They need a good big wideout. You're right. You got to find some guys to get to. Robbie Anderson's.
An interesting one was the Arizona Cardinals took a.
How the heck, Cliff Handsome. Cliff Handsome was like Ryan Gosling, that guy.
Cliff Kingsbury, dating Holly Saunders. If you're.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Who is she? She's a reporter.
Holly Saunders used to be with the Golf Channel. Quite an attractive young lady.
I didn't know that.
Then left the Golf Channel, went to Fox Sports. Was doing some golf because Fox has the golf contracts. Doing some sideline stuff with the football. That's how she met Cliff Handsome there.
Okay.
So Cliff gets fired by Texas Tech when I don't know 35-50 or something like that.
Yeah, 35, 45, yeah.
Gets hired by USC as the offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator, OC, yep.
2 weeks later, Arizona says, "Well, McCarthy doesn't want to listen to us, so we'll give you a job."
First USC said he can't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He's like, excuse me? I'm talking whatever the hell I want. You know, I ain't giving you doing that. You can't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So he met with them and they reconsidered. So he,
Yeah.
and then
again, I was surprised.
And then the first thing he does when he gets a job as a Cardinals coach says, I didn't make Kyler Murray right. They have a top draft pick, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They already picked Josh Rosen last year with their top pick.
Yeah.
Right. So they have their legit franchise quarterback, according to them.
Yeah.
Now he comes out and says, I'd take Kyler Murray. What does that do to Josh Rosen? Excuse me?
Wow.
Who's this guy? So that was very interesting.
Yeah.
So who knows, guy? I mean, the guy just doesn't have. You can't go from being a college head coach to being a pro head coach. I don't think he can do it. I just don't think he can do it.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't
happen.
happen.
To do this. That's like being a somebody working and owning the place. I mean, it's too different. It's just.
Lou Holtz tried it. Remember?
Yeah.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
Came to the Jets. What was the first thing he did? We need a fight song.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That didn't work out too well.
It's incredible.
But it's amazing. We've said it before. I mean, strange this year with 25% of the league need new coaches, but just these retread guys.
Incredible.
They,
popping up everywhere. I mean, do all of a sudden they get smart in the offseason or something, or
Yeah.
And they have a good. Remember John DeFilippo, who was the offense coordinator for the Vikings, and they score like 5 points a game for 3 games on. He gets fired. He was the next big head coach. They were talking about he was the next guy to take all these different jobs. Yeah. And now the guy's not even in the league anymore.
Yeah.
In a matter of 3 weeks.
Coming back to Gase, the Jets weren't the only guys interviewing Gase. I think he interviewed 4 or 5 other teams.
Incredible.
So Bruce Arians ends up with Tampa Bay.
With who's their defense coordinator?
I don't know. Who's the defense coordinator?
No.
Seriously.
Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles.
Oh, no. You got to be kidding me.
No. He's their DC.
Wow.
They hired him as a defense coordinator for Tampa Bay now.
Wow.
Yeah.
The motivator.
Run through a wall for that guy. God, I like to run through a wall
Again,
right now.
Going back to the point I made 30 seconds ago, retreads.
Amazing. So what's your record this year, Coach Bowles? What do you think? Whatever our record is.
What it is.
What is wrong with you? It's just incredible. The guy's incredible.
Oh, no.
So, he's their DC.
Okay, so, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan.
Buckle down on that one, boy.
Wow.
They hired these poor guys. They give them 1 year. The guy in Denver had a couple of years.
Yeah.
The guy in Arizona had 1 year. Steve Wilkes had 1 year. Now he got a job as defense coordinator somewhere.
Yeah.
But they always have a
question,
job.
how does Bowles get a 3rd year? But
and these guys always get jobs.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur, never been a head coach. He's head coach of the Packers.
Oh, the Green Bay Packers. Yeah.
Jeez, God Almighty.
Yeah.
And then who else is Cincinnati fill their spot yet?
They're looking at somebody. Harbaugh's going to stay at
Zach Taylor. Was he
in Baltimore. Browns are looking at Freddie Kitchens.
They did hire him.
They did. Okay.
They did hire him. Yeah, Kitchens. Yeah, they passed over Greg Williams.
Zach Taylor is what it looks like is going to happen in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you say to yourself, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Where do they come from? How about Antonio Brown? That's another scenario there in Pittsburgh. All the stuff he did.
Now they're talking. The Jets expressed interest, and I saw something today that the 49ers are looking seriously at him.
He wants to go to 49ers. You said,
Yeah.
Like to go out there, and then was it Arians? Maybe it was Arians of the Arians of Tampa Bay said no thanks.
Yeah.
And then drama, attitude. He goes, not a team player. He goes, I don't want him here. So that was his first call. You never know what goes inside the locker room, inside the walls.
But safe to say he's not going to be wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
Absolutely not. Yeah. No, him and Le'Veon Bell are going to be somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets get either one of those two guys. Put some, Antonio Brown and Darnell. I think
I'd rather Bell than Brown.
It's funny because almost any of those guys, or not any of those guys, but a lot of those guys are special. Odell Beckham, these guys, they have that. They're kind of like, I wouldn't say crazy, but they're kind of like off the radar, you know.
Yeah,
And to be so great, you have to be a little different, I guess.
There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, he put up with it, and I think in Pittsburgh too, Roethlisberger just didn't want to have it anymore.
Yeah.
And getting old. He's getting near the end. He's like, I don't need your high school. I mean, the guy flies into practice with a helicopter with his 2 kids. And you know, what the heck? So, yeah, and they said Odell Beckham was looking to go to San Francisco too. Oh, the Raiders it was.
Okay.
The
Now,
Raiders.
the Raiders, the Raiders start in Vegas next year, or they one more year in
I think they get 1 more year.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That's a good question, because their last home game, they were saying goodbye. So
Okay.
I don't think it's official yet, but they have 3 first-round draft picks, the Raiders, this year.
Yeah.
So,
So it's a big year for Chucky, because he, you know, that did not work this year.
yeah, I think we just got to do. I think he's got to get a couple offensive linemen to protect Carr, see if Carr is his franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, and get the culture change over there again too. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, so, you know, some teams, you know, like culture change. You mentioned a couple times, Gase in Miami,
Yep.
Gruden out there. You know, Madden, that was an awesome football team when John Madden was there, and relative to the times,
Yeah.
those were the bad boys.
Yeah.
You know, and that's who they were.
who they were.
And you know, I would never question Madden as a coach.
Yeah.
I guess
they had
you could say
Stabler.
he reined it in enough that
Yeah.
it was okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
there was some
Different time and era. You don't
some
know.
psychos on
Yeah,
that team.
Yeah.
So relatively speaking, like I say, they were the troublemakers, and,
Yeah.
and Madden was able to
Yeah.
you know, get them to win. But no, I've never been a Raiders fan, but they've always been fun to watch. Going back to, you know, Stabler and Mark Van
Yeah.
Eegen and Fred Biletnikoff.
Alonzo, what was that guy's name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The guy
Beard.
he died of a brain tumor.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Lion-
can think of yeah.
What
It's
was
not
his
coming to
name?
me.
Yeah, number 77. I forget.
Yeah.
But he was another nut that.
Yep.
Yeah, they were crazy.
I
back
saw
then.
Mark Van Eegen. This is back, you know, kind of late '90s.
Colgate.
You know, he's in the insurance industry now or whatever else. Still, you know, you look at him from, you know, media, you're like, man,
Yeah.
that guy's in shape. I tell you what, though, you watch him walk from there to there.
Wow, it's too bad.
I mean, his knees, hips, just blown up.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the
Nature of the
the
game.
nature of the game, right?
That's
right.
it. Yeah. Well, what was the other thing? They're still talking about Eli in New York. They don't know what to do with him.
I think it's time to pass, right?
Yeah, I think he's. I don't know. Yeah, they're talking about getting Dwayne Haskins as the number 6 pick if he's there. As far as Kyler Murray goes, let's talk about him for a few minutes. So he declares for the draft. If he declares for the draft and gets drafted by one of the football teams, I guess he has to give back his $4.6 million he signed with the Oakland A's.
With the A's, yeah.
A's.
Yeah.
But
Well, if he gets drafted or if he signs. I mean, I would assume just getting drafted.
very confusing.
Right, because
yeah.
you can. Manning showed, right? You can get drafted by a team and just.
I think
not sign.
I know what it is. He gets drafted. He has X amount of time
There's a window.
to withdraw.
Got it.
To withdraw.
Okay.
And still retain that. Yeah. But if he does get signed, then yeah, because the money's a lot more in football. If he's drafted in the first or second round, I mean, his bonus is like $8 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like double what he's got.
Yeah, as opposed to going to the A's and riding the bus. And,
Yeah,
you know,
and
going to
maybe he's
AA.
19, and he make the pros by what, 22, 23?
Yeah.
It's not like a Juan Soto of the Nats where he's 19 superstar.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to, I mean, the thing about Murray is he's tiny. The guy is tiny.
Yeah.
And they say he's a tremendous athlete, tremendous player, but the guy's 5'9" at best, 175 maybe.
Yeah.
And you got guys like Russell Wilson's 5'11", but Russell Wilson's 190, 200 pounds solid.
If he goes 6th in the draft,
Well, the thing
he's guaranteed more money than he's gonna than the signing bonus.
He gets hit once or twice by some of those guys, man. Linebackers,
Yeah.
he's going to be.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
and then he can go on and have a 15-year career. I don't know, but I mean, he's maybe somebody Doug Flutie. What did Flutie do? I mean, Flutie had to go to CFL and then had
Yeah, I
different
mean,
years.
made a career.
But I mean, he's just and he's quick and all that, but you don't want your quarterback running like that. You just don't. You know.
No,
I mean,
and you know how many quarterbacks have shown that doesn't work in the NFL.
it doesn't work. It never will work.
Yeah.
It just never will work.
Yeah, Philadelphia fans have given up on that after.
Yeah,
you know.
but he's sort of a whole different monkey wrench into the draft with Murray. I mean, there's going to be someone that's in love with him, someone's going to want him, and someone's going to take him in the first round.
Sure.
And take a chance on him.
There's plenty of teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah, so they're going to take a chance on him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's he's unique and different, and he might break the mold as far as a small guy playing quarterback. But the odds, I don't know.
Yeah, you tend to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's going to break the mold because he scrambles. This guy's going to, whether it's, So
you like your guys to be 6'6", 230, but but they can't throw the ball to 5 feet. So, but I think,
like you say, there's plenty of teams that need a quarterback.
And on piggyback that, with Kyler Murray, who's the quarterback for Oklahoma next year? Signed today, Jalen Hurts.
Really?
Alabama, going to Oklahoma, eligible right away.
Eligible right away, which means Alabama had to give him release papers.
No, he graduated already.
He graduated.
Fifth year.
Oh, okay.
Graduated December.
So he's going to play one more year.
Like a Russell Wilson. When Russell Wilson did NC State to Wisconsin.
Yep.
Same exact thing. So Oklahoma's got their quarterback for next year.
For a year.
Now they had this guy. I think Ohio State had Tate Martell, and Justin Fields went from Georgia to Ohio State. And so Tate Martell was a heir apparent to Dwayne Haskins. Now he's probably going, wait, I thought it was my job.
Yeah.
So does he go somewhere now?
Yeah.
Now also too, you forgot that Jacob Eason. You remember him from Georgia? Mm-hmm. Jake Fromm beat him out. He was a top recruit 2 years ago. He goes to Washington. He's playing for the Huskies.
Yep.
Jake Browning graduates, and now Eason is eligible this coming fall to play, so he'll be their quarterback.
Okay.
And he's a top. He's 6'5", 220.
Yeah.
I mean, another guy that great player. So it's interesting to see some of these guys that a younger guy comes in and they go somewhere else. Now the other thing, Wimbush from Notre Dame got beaten out by what was his name? Who was the quarterback for Notre Dame? Just played. Anyway, he got beaten out by the quarterback at Notre Dame, and he went to UCF.
Yeah.
He went to Central Florida.
And almost went undefeated.
So no, he just transferred there.
Oh, just transferred.
Wimbush was on a bench for Notre Dame.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting, it's disturbing, first of all, but it's interesting when you get these guys moving around like this. The university that they're leaving has to release them. Or they sit out a year. Now, and a lot of these guys don't have that option necessarily because they redshirt your first year.
Yeah.
You come in, you get scholarship or whatever else, and you redshirt your first year. You only have 4 years of eligibility left.
Yeah, we have 5 years to play 4.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. So if your freshman year was a redshirt,
right,
you got 4 eligible seasons left. Now you go to transfer, and the university's like, well, no, we're not giving you. We're not releasing you.
You still can play. You still have 4 years eligibility.
But if you transfer schools, you got to sit out a year.
Yeah.
Unless
that doesn't account for your eligibility, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what Ryan Finley did at NC State.
Yeah.
He's been playing for 6 years.
So think about that. So over the course of 6 years, right? So I come in. I sit my first year. I play my second year. And then you come in and you say, well, Joe's better than George, so George, now you're going to sit a year.
Right.
So now, over the course of 3 years, you played 8 football games.
Right.
It's not. This is not the way things should be going.
Well,
not to mention that. The vast majority of NCAA basketball or football players, players, baseball players, whatever you want to call, are going to have to get a job outside of their sport when they're done.
You only talking a couple of guys that applies to now. Ryan Finley.
But you just rattled off 4.
What?
4 guys that are doing this. This guy's going to Ohio State. This guy's going from Notre Dame.
Yeah, but
UCF. This guy's going
not for 5 years though. I mean, Jalen Hurts was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he transferred now. He graduated 3 years.
Right. No, I get that. But so that's one. And then the kid from Notre Dame goes to UCF, and then the kid from here goes to Ohio State. I mean, 5 years ago, would you find anybody doing this? This is starting to become like a thing now.
No, because what happens is now these guys try to recruit all the best players they can, irregardless of who's there, who's not there.
Yeah.
So they'll recruit 5 guys to recruit five-star quarterbacks if they can get 5 stars.
Yeah.
And then they figure, how many times Texas Tech had one time they had Baker Mayfield, they had 3 top quarterbacks. I forget the other guys were. They had three top quarterbacks there, and they all left.
Cliff Kingsbury still couldn't.
Yeah, and they all left though because so that's what happens. I mean, gets hurt or
we last week or last show, a couple shows ago, we were talking about these lesser bowl games and big names sitting out, and my thought was, you went through school with a team.
Right.
Why not play your last bowl game with a team?
Right.
Now we got guys halfway through their career in a college.
They're looking at what's best for me as far as NFL goes.
Yeah.
So that's what they're looking at. The guy, again, there's one more thing about Ryan Finley. The guy's got 3 degrees.
Yeah.
He graduated from NC State this year. He's got a bachelor's, he's got a master's, and he has some certification in some other field he has or something.
Yeah.
So and he'll be eligible for the draft. Whether he gets drafted or not is another question. But I mean, the guy took full advantage of what you were talking about
Of the 5 years.
of the 5 years. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and got all his stuff out of the way. I mean, again, it's rare the guy does that. And
Sure, yeah.
Now you got UCF who got Wimbush because they've got Mackenzie Milton who's recovering from that gruesome injury he had, but he can play next year if he's athletically if he's meant it. Now if he's not, he gets it the whole year. Medical red shirt, and come back after that. So I mean,
assuming and I don't know. Again, I mean, if he, I don't know if he used his redshirt year his freshman year, which a lot of guys do, and that's in the rolling the dice there too. Okay, you got some whatever 300-pound guy from Nebraska come in. Okay, we want you to be 340, so you're going to sit your first.
I think you're confusing medical red shirt with being injured. 2 different things.
So you can have 6 years to play for?
Not the same place.
Right.
Not the same school.
So that goes back to my point, right?
Right.
So I redshirt you because you come in. You're 300 pounds. I want you to be 340.
Right.
Okay. We get you up to 335. You're not quite heavy enough. You end up getting hurt.
Right.
Okay. Well, now I give you a scholarship. I'm going to get 3 years out of you.
So you play for 2 years, right? You redshirt 1 year. You play for 2 years.
Yep.
You transfer, and you got 1 more year left.
Yeah.
5 years to play for.
Yeah.
No.
But again, where did the model switch to? We go from different we switch colleges.
I think it came with the whole mindset of sitting out a bowl game, the combines, the IMG academies. I think it's just that. They're saying that because now with NFL they have like when you get drafted a certain spot, you get a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, well, Byron Jones is a good example. UConn, he killed the combine. And he went from a 3rd, 4th round draft pick to a 1st round draft pick.
Sure.
Made himself $20, $30 million. Because of his high jump and his long jump and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's what you're referring to is a matter of just making themselves the best person they can to be eligible for the NFL.
Yeah.
Because where they get drafted is huge as far as 1st, 2nd, 3rd round.
Oh, sure.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and going back to
there's not that many guys that
going back to Murray. I mean, he's going to be a 1st round draft pick. He's making huge amounts of money.
I mean, you got guys
before he takes a snap.
Yeah, you got guys you never heard of that transferred. We never heard of them. Then all of a sudden they're eligible and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Now, what's the next thing?
What'd you think of the national championship game? You called that. You called that right.
They called it.
Joe called the upset. He said Clemson over Alabama.
Yeah. I was surprised with such a butt whip.
One-sided game.
I was surprised. I think that pick six in the beginning of the game for Clemson was a killer.
Yep.
He threw the ball right in double coverage, and a guy picked off and lost the end zone 40 yards. I think that was a
that's that early
that
momentum
was it. That was a good smack in the face. Going, okay, we don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And then you got that kid from Clemson, Justin Ross. That was unbelievable. You see some of the catches he made. He made 2. And Alabama wanted him bad. He was from Alabama. Area.
The one that got away.
Yeah, he wanted him bad. He went there instead. And I was amazed at Trevor Lawrence, how poised he was and how well he played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Tua made a couple mistakes. So it's all it took. They had like 7 guys from Alabama declared for the draft, underclassmen. So took off. And he lost his D coordinator, his offensive coordinator. He lost like 4 or 5 coaches from that staff too. So it's amazing how all these teams raid all the good programs and take all their guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's going on. What's the culture there that we want to bring to our team?
The same thing with kids. I mean, they go where they.
Yep.
Because Mike Loxley, the offensive coordinator, went to Maryland as a head coach.
Yep.
And the defense coordinator went somewhere. And Clemson set up for the next couple of years. I mean, Lawrence got 2 more years left.
Yeah.
He'll be a number 1 draft pick in 2 years. And I think 2 will be a number 1 draft pick next year.
Okay.
They got the top 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Next year's quarterbacks, class pretty good. You got Jake Fromm. You got a couple other guys coming out.
Yeah, kind of a lull this year.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, his top guy. Then you got Herbert from Oregon will be eligible next year. So you got a couple better guys coming out next year.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little baseball now, if that's okay.
That's all right.
Yankees. I hope they don't get Machado.
No Machado. That's your.
Not yet.
That's your.
Thank the Lord.
Yep.
They signed T.J. LeMahieu, who was an all-star second baseman from Colorado, which I thought was a tremendous signing.
Yeah.
Guy's 6'4", he bats 300 pounds. I mean, he bats 300, but the thing is that it's in Colorado too, so there's a little bit of a thing there.
Yeah, you got the altitude and all
Great.
that. Yep.
Golden Glover. It doesn't matter where you play, Golden Glove, you're Golden Glove. We're in Colorado, so and he's played second base and signed for a 2-year deal, which is kind of weird because they don't really need a second baseman, but they must be. I think what they're thinking is they're putting Gleyber Torres at shortstop, and putting LeMahieu at second.
Yep.
What they're doing, and Tyler Wade to back them both up, and they're going to hope that DD gets back at some point. They might not get back until the end of the summer, but who knows?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Machado, they were not going to give him a long-term contract.
No.
They might offer him 3-4 years at X amount, and now Machado decide whether do I take more money for a shorter period of time to go with the Yankees, or do I take a longer, bigger contract?
Take some enormous contract in some middle part of the country where I'm not in the spotlight. Right.
It makes absolutely no sense for the Yankees to sign to a long-term deal. Yeah. You've got Stan. Everyone deal with Stan. He's got 9 more years left. You've got Judge in 2 years is coming up to his big contract.
Be an 8.
And then you got Sanchez too. Same thing. Judge and Sanchez are in the same boat.
Yeah.
So you can't offer those guys, all that money. I mean, you're going to pay everybody, $300 million.
Well, the White Sox made a very lucrative offer to Manny Machado.
Right. Well, what, 75 for 8 years?
Yeah.
No, was it 7 years?
I think it was 8.
8, yeah.
I thought it was 8, yeah.
Which is actually kind of low, really.
Yeah.
25.
But if you're Machado, it's past New Year's now.
Yeah.
And you're seeing these guys go. There's what I'm hearing is that the Phillies have kind of stopped looking at Machado.
Yeah.
They're putting all in to get Bryce Harper.
Exactly.
So now you're Machado going, well, wait a minute, I can't wait too long.
Yeah.
So
now, did you know that Machado's brother-in-law plays for the White Sox?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Brother-in-law. Okay.
Yeah. I think his name is not Alfonso, Alonso. He's Yadier Alonso. He's a first baseman for them.
Okay.
Something like that. His sister is Machado's wife.
Okay.
So they
that could be good unless
they signed
something
him.
happens.
They signed him, and I think part of their signing was maybe to lure Machado to the White Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying anything they can. I hope he goes there. Good. Get over there. Go to Chicago.
Don't go to the Cubs. Go to the White Sox.
Get on my face.
I'm okay with that.
And then I think Harper goes to the Phillies or the Nats. He might return to the Nats. I think he stays with one of those two teams.
Either way, I'm not thrilled because they're in my division now.
Phillies, I don't think would get Machado. He's got Gene Segura to play shortstop.
Yeah.
And they got this other.
To me, Harper makes sense to go to Philly.
Yeah, he wants, and I think Machado wants to play short.
Yeah.
So I think that's now the Mets made a couple moves that I like.
Yeah.
Keenan Broxton, center fielder.
Yeah.
Kind of like reminds of Aaron Hicks, same type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, last show we said they need an outfielder with some bat. They need some left-handed relief.
22 home runs a couple years ago.
And they need a backup shortstop.
Fast.
Now they also got a guy who can play shortstop. I don't think he's a backup shortstop. Jed Lowry.
Yep. I think that was a good get too. I mean, he's a professional player.
Not a huge amount of money. Can play.
No.
Can play anything.
All 4 positions in the infield.
My concern as lifetime Mets fan is you got a couple young players that I'd like to see have the opportunity to come up. Does the Lowry signing mean either McNeil or Rosario or riding the bench? Yeah. I like both those young players.
Yeah. I think Frazier goes. I think Todd Frazier goes.
Yeah.
I think they get rid of they find somewhere for him to go, so they can put Lowry at third.
Rosario short.
McNeil second.
Cano at first.
And McNeil and Lowry can play second or third.
Yeah.
They can switch them around.
Yep.
And like we said before, I don't think Cespedes is being counted on at all.
Nope. No, you've got to. If you're the Mets, you've got to operate that you will not see Cespedes.
I think Omar Minaya actually, your boy Omar Minaya has seen him.
Yep.
Has talked to him or something else and said that he doesn't expect too much out of him. Is what his quote was.
Yeah. Yep.
Too many
surgeries.
Yep. Yeah. You're looking at AJ Pollock from Diamond. They might get him.
Yeah.
I think he's a Connecticut boy. Pollock. He's from maybe I want to say Berlin, maybe, but I think he's a Connecticut guy.
Yep.
And chance they might get him. Play center field. How many center fielders they need though?
Yeah, they lost. Well, they released Wilmer Flores.
Flores, yep.
Who was kind of a mascot for the Mets.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice guy.
a few years ago when he was supposedly traded during the game,
Yep.
and he became a kind of a favorite. A lot of game-winning hits.
Yeah.
A lot of game-winning hits.
Yep.
So,
all right, final picks for this weekend. Who you got? Pats,
I'm going to go with the Patriots on the road.
I agree.
And I'm going to go against you. I think
Saints.
that the Saints have never lost a playoff game at home.
Yeah.
Well, he's never lost a playoff game at home.
I'll take the Rams 27-24.
Oh, wow, we're going numbers and
And I'm
everything.
going to take the Pats 30-27.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Thanks,
all right,
Joe.
You're the best. All right. That's it. Go to bed.